As long as you're not answering, we're good. We're coming to you live from the DDX studios here in Pigeon Forge. Get Married in the Smokies, a show dedicated to helping promote weddings and events in the area. Each week I'll have different wedding professionals. I'll get into different topics, education, all that to help you find what you might be looking for in order to have a successful wedding or event here. And our next show is coming up, and as soon as we roll the intro. It's a beautiful day here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in the heart of Sevier County. It's Monday, so that means it's time for a regular segment of Get Married in the Smokies, where I get the honor of educating people, of highlighting wedding professionals. The Smoky Mountains are the most visited national park here in the United States, and so that's a very beautiful backdrop for weddings and events. And with studies and statistics that have come in, we have approximately between 8,000 to probably over 16,000 weddings that take place. And so therefore, that means wedding professionals are here from all walks of life to be able to make a living each and every week by doing something they enjoy and by providing a service. So hopefully this show each week will showcase that and be educational as well. And so I'm honored to host it. A big thank you to Mountain Fun Life. If you go to Facebook, like the Mountain Fun Life page, and DDX Studios for giving me this opportunity. So I'm here with Mary Smith.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, how about yourself? You own Mary Mason Photography.
I do.
So now explain to me, if your name is Mary Smith, how is your business Mary Mason Photography?
My grandmother was 40 years old, and she was in a head-on car accident, and her name was Mary Mason.
Okay.
And so when I decided I wanted to do this,
Sure.
I really wanted to honor the fact that, honor the legacy that she left behind in who she was. And one of the biggest things that we struggled with is we just don't have a lot of pictures of her.
Right.
Because she was either behind the camera or she just didn't like getting her picture made.
I
So one
gotcha.
of the things that I try to encourage through the name of my business is to remind people how important it is to get your picture made. No matter how much you don't like how you look on camera, your family will appreciate it one day.
So this is a nice tribute to her memory.
It really is.
Awesome.
And one of the best things that happened for me is my mom actually found a picture of her holding a camera. So I have it set on a shelf in my room near my desk. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was very cool.
So how long have you been in the photography business?
Professionally, on my own, I have been in the business since February of 2011.
Okay.
Before that, I worked for 2.5 years with a wedding company as a wedding photographer and as a wedding planner. So I guess you could say 9.5 years doing
Okay.
photography. So
Awesome.
yes.
And then what made you decide to go the route to starting your own business?
One of the things I've really found that with working with a wedding company is that they pay their photographers a certain amount, and then they take the rest. And I thought to myself, well, obviously I can generate more income for myself by doing it on my own.
Sure.
Because I eliminate that middleman. But one of the other things I realized with the wedding company was that a lot of wedding companies like to keep the same posing, to keep it very, to kind of give the feel of this is our wedding company.
Right.
This is our signature. These are our poses. This is what you get with us.
Sure.
Something to create an expectation.
That makes
So
sense.
I didn't really feel like I had a lot of creative license. And when you're a creative person, you need that creative license to really like thrive and grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I really wanted to just kind of be my own boss and be able to say, well, I want to go spend some time with my kids today. So, and then I also wanted to be able to pour who I really was into my photography.
I get that.
Yeah.
So what all do you do with Mary Mason Photography then?
Pretty much everything. I do events, weddings, newborns, maternity, children, sports. Basically, if it involves photography and it's not way out in left field, I'm willing to try it. So
Okay.
I've photographed funerals before. I photographed grand openings of like Caton's Chapel Fire Department. They had
Okay.
their Station 2. I photographed the ribbon cutting for that. And then, but primarily my job centers around portraiture. So,
Okay, that's
and weddings. So,
now we're in a destination area.
right.
So do you find, what are the challenges you find with having a business, being self-employed?
One of the biggest problems is we have our dead seasons. Like, I can guarantee there's probably at least 3 to 5 months a year where I don't have a lot of income coming in. So, but then I have those months where, like, from September to December, I'm usually blindsided by how much business I have coming in.
Yes.
Because in October you have what we call the leafers, where they like to come in and view the
Yes.
leaves, and so they want their family photo sessions with the pretty leaves all around them. And
Yep.
and then you have like September and October are huge wedding months.
Oh, yeah.
In the
Oh, yeah.
Smokies. A lot of people come specifically during those months because the leaves are changing and they want that fall feel for their wedding. And then of course you have November and December, people are getting ready for Christmas.
Sure.
So, you know, it's kind of like that huge chunk is actually where I do probably about 60% of my business.
Okay.
So
more of the fall business is what primarily is your business.
yeah, it's what drives my business.
Okay.
January, February, we don't see much. I do more basketball teams in January, February than I do anything else. And then, of course,
Gotcha.
you have Valentine's Day. But even Valentine's Day mini sessions are not a huge thing for our area. But like Easter, the
Sure.
spring minis are usually really big for us in March. So
Now, what's one thing, you know, if someone is looking for a photographer, what is something about you, your business, your approach that would be something that they'd want to look at?
I try to make it as comfortable as possible. Like, you know, a lot of families I find don't want to do a photo session because it's stressful.
Right.
And one of the things that I have found with my business is it's a common thing I've heard from my clients that they love working with me because I take the pain part of the photography
Sure.
session away and I make it a painless, fun experience. So I bring a little bit of my sarcastic, dry humor to my photo sessions, and a lot of people enjoy that. And then I think I have a fun personality. I don't really get to observe myself, so I try to have fun with my clients.
Sure.
And
That makes sense.
the biggest thing with posing is I am more of a natural poser. I want to encourage the natural, like, conversation between people.
Right.
And the natural emotions coming out. Now, if you're mad at your wife because she made you wear a shirt you didn't want to wear, I probably won't encourage that. But I will encourage the love you feel for her despite how angry she made you that morning. So, you know, it's kind of, that's one of the things I really try to fuel into my photography is, you know, with a couple, like on a wedding day, they're extremely stressed.
Oh, sure.
So I try to lighten the mood, and I try to make sure they remember that I'm there to make sure they get the best pictures possible.
Right.
So that's the least thing that they need to be worried about. And then I bring all the fun to the table because it's such a stressful day. Like when you're there getting married and you're in a place you're not familiar with, and then traffic and everything is going. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that they know, hey, my photographer has my back. She's going to make sure that we get what we need, and she's going to let us have fun while doing it. So
I get
think
that completely.
fun and warmth and conversation is what I really think fuels my business.
Because you want the clients and people hired to feel like friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many friends I've made through my business. Like one of my best friends I made through my business, and she contacted me for a maternity session, and then it turned into a Watch Me Grow package, and then now she and I talk all the time.
There
We're
you
best
go.
friends. We hang out all the time. One of my dear friends, she needed a maternity session, so she contacted me, and ironically, before that, we didn't even like each other, and I just got referred so much, she was like, okay, well, I'll just try this out. And then now we're always with each other, so it's kind of funny to see how my business has actually driven a lot of my relationships outside of my business. So it's nice to, actually another one of my best friends, they were getting married, and she called me, and actually her now husband called me, and we became friends through that. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome.
it's really cool.
So from a photography standpoint, what are things that, you look for or that you try and let your clients know that is, there's, when I think of photography, I think of, and you mentioned it before, like the posing and everything, and it seems like sometimes it's a hassle, or, you're sitting there and you're in a group of people and photographers is trying to get everything just right. What are some things that you want to your clients to know as far as when they hire you, yes, there are going to be some similarities, but here's what I offer to make it,
Different?
yeah.
The biggest thing is that with photography, you have to be careful because photography is subjective. So while, like, I was actually noticing that right now something that's trending is darker, richer greens and creams in tones of editing. But what I bring to the table that's different is more the personal touch. My editing might be very similar to someone else's. My posing might be similar to someone else's. But I become your friend.
Right.
And that is, I bring the emotion to the table. And I want, when you look at your pictures, whether it's similar posing or similar editing, I want you to remember the emotion that we brought to the table there at that session.
Okay,
I
get
want
that.
you to recognize that, businesses can all be cookie cutter.
Sure.
But every business has a person behind it driving that business.
Exactly.
And you want to like the person. And when you don't mesh with that person, you're going to feel it when you look
Sure.
at your memories. And that's the one thing that's very important to me, is to make sure that you and I like each other when we're doing a session together, and that we walk away both feeling excited about what we were able to
About the
capture.
product.
Yes.
So if someone wanted to hire your services, how do they get a hold of you?
They can contact me on my website. There
Okay.
is a contact page. It's www.marymasonphotography.com. I have a Facebook business page, Mary Mason Photography. Actually, someone else just started another Mary Mason Photography, so I am the one with the logo. And then also, I have my phone numbers. You should probably, I think it'll pop up. It's 865-712-8837.
All right. Well, I thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you for having
And
me.
if you are looking for someone for photography to help for weddings and events in this area, please reach out to Mary Smith. Again, Get Married in the Smokies is here to promote the area, to promote weddings and events, to promote wedding professionals. And I hope that you'll get a lot out of this, and we hope that the shows are educational. So from DDX Studios here in Pigeon Forge, my name is Ron Crivoloni with Get Married in the Smokies, and a big thank you to Mary Smith
Thank
from
you.
Mary Mason
Thank you for having
Photography.
me.
And we'll catch you soon.